Welcome to Yoga 77. My name is Jackie. So we're just going to begin today by rubbing your hands together. We're just going to try and bring a little bit of warmth into the hands. So you might just rub the palms together, maybe the fingers. Might even go in between the fingers. Maybe you'd like to rub the backs of your hands. Might be starting to feel a little bit of heat now, a little bit of warmth, a bit of friction. Might come up the arms a little. Notice your wrists. And then if it feels right, you might bring your palms just gently over your eyes. And as you place them there, you might feel a little bit of heat. You might have a little gap between the fingers so that you can still look out, or you might choose to close those gaps. Just take a moment here. Just notice how that feels. You might feel the warmth of the hands placed on your eyes. You might notice your forehead. You might feel your eyebrows. You might even feel your eyelashes. It might be a little tickly. You might feel your cheeks. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And then very slowly, see if you can open those fingers up so you can peek through. And we're just going to let the hands slide slowly all the way down. And you can have palms up or down on your legs. Just take a moment to check how you're sitting. You might just adjust your seat a little. You might sit a little further forward. And if you've chosen to bring blocks or books perhaps under your feet, just check that the feet are positioned right on top. So you can just start to press the feet down into either the ground or into your blocks, into your books. And as you start to press down into the feet, you might start to feel a little bit of waking up through the leg muscles, waking up through the feet, maybe the toes. If you've got socks on, shoes on, you might want to just pause and take those off. Just check that you're able to create a little bit of space for your feet, a little bit of space for your toes. Nice, and then just see if you can take the weight a little bit more into the heels of your feet. So you might be able to sort of just rock back a little or tilt back a little. You can always hold onto your chair if you feel a little wobbly. See if you can press the heels down. Nice, and then rock the feet a little further forward and see if you can press the toes down or the ball of your foot. Just a little bit more weight there. You might press the toes down a little more. You might press down one side, the other side. Just notice how that feels. You don't have to press super hard, especially if there's a lot of sensation. Just find a little sensation, a little waking up through the feet. Nice, and then if you can, see if you can take the weight back into the heels and then into the toes. So you might take this movement with the feet staying right down and just sort of transferring the weight to the heels, more to the toes, or you might notice that your upper body is starting to rock forward and back. And you're very welcome to be a little bit more active here. You might even use the hands on your legs. See if you can come back a little further. Might feel the tummy muscles. And then see if you can rock further forward. You might even start to pick the heels up. You can always hold on to the chair. And again, it doesn't have to be big. So we're coming back. You might pick the toes up. You might see how high you can pick the toes up. And then rock forward. Maybe pick the heels up. Take a few more like that. And again, it might feel a little wobbly, it might feel a little funny. Just notice the feet might not be lifting up. That's okay. Even if you sort of pretend that you're picking the feet up, so if the feet are staying down, you're sort of rocking back, weight into the heels, like push down through the heels, rock forward, weight a little bit more into the toes. You might push those toes down a little more. Just a couple more like that. And once you feel ready, complete, we'll just come back into seated. You might just take some wriggles and jiggles. You might even just have a bit of a shake, bit of a shimmy. And then we'll come into stillness. So just take a little moment just to pause, just to notice. And so when you sit and just notice, you might notice sensations in your physical body. You might feel your feet, you might feel your toes. You might feel where your bottom is connected to your chair. You might notice the soles of your feet pushing down into your blocks. You might notice the hands connected to your legs or holding onto your chair. And you might notice your face. You might notice if the face feels a little tight or a little softer. And maybe you just lift the corners of your lips just a little. And then maybe you notice your breath. Just notice your breath. See if you can feel your breath. And so you might notice that your breath feels a little tight, maybe a little shallow. Maybe it feels open. Maybe it feels deeper. You might notice the temperature of your breath. And maybe it feels a little cool as you breathe in through your nose. See if you can notice the temperature of your breath. You might be able to hear your breath. You might start to maybe feel some changes in your breath as you bring your awareness to your breath. And if it is available today, breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. You might start to feel the breath more in your chest. You might feel it through your ribs, through the rib cage. Maybe you feel it going down into your belly. And you might like to place your hands on your belly. You might be able to feel a little rising of the belly as you inhale, and it may be a little deflation, drawing back of the belly as you exhale. Maybe you start to breathe a little deeper into your hands or into your fingers. You might keep your eyes open, or you might prefer just to bring the eye gaze down, a little soft gaze. You can close your eyes if you like. And just take another 3 to 5 breath rounds here, just noticing your breath like you are a breath detective. What else can you notice about your breath? Just bring the hands down. Just another breath round or two. Again, we'll just let that go. So again, you might just take some movement through your head, your shoulders, wriggle and jiggle. You might prefer to sit a little further back in your chair. You might sit a little further forward. So just check that you're comfortable. Again, notice your feet connected to the ground or to the blocks. And then we're going to bring the left hand just to your heart space. And then we're going to place that right hand up. It's almost like you're just holding a little platter. Maybe think about somebody around you, or perhaps it's yourself who had the last birthday, and maybe you're picturing that delicious birthday cake. It might be a little heavy, so you might even just feel, oh, you have to lift that cake up. So a little bit of weight. And then we're going to turn towards the right side. So we're trying to find a little twist just through the tummy, through the mid-body. It might be through the ribs that you feel it. And you might just come in a little bit. You might come a little further. You might follow your eyes. Follow the hand with your eyes. Keep the eye gaze on that delicious cake. And then come all the way back through center. So you can keep watching that cake. And then we're going to bring that palm back in, switch the cake over, and we're going to take the rotation the other direction. And so this is your movement. We're going to keep with this movement. Now it might not be as big as mine. It might be faster, it might be slower. And what I want you to try and feel is just a little twist. Maybe through the ribs, might be through the tummy. And we're trying to keep the shoulders soft. Soft through the face, soft through the neck. It doesn't have to be a big movement. Now your breath, if you've lost connection with the breath, you might exhale to twist. Might be an inhale back through center, and then an exhale to twist the other direction. And because you might be working with your breath, you might be working at a different speed because your breath probably isn't the same as mine. And if you're working with somebody else today, if you're in a group today or with a friend taking this practice, you might notice that you're moving at different speeds. Because everybody's body is different, your breath is different. And so the invitation is to try and notice your breath. And it's almost like your whole body is breathing. So we're trying to breathe and move with a connection. And again, maybe you try to watch your hand. And again, if it's a little bit too much, you might be watching me. You might have your eye gaze down. You might even close the eyes. We'll just take another one or two to each side. Again, once you're finished, you've got the option here of coming back through center. You might keep the hands crossed at your heart space. You might prefer to bring the hands down. And again, just take a little pause here. Just reconnect that idea of just checking in. Just notice how you're feeling. Maybe notice your breath. Again, you might notice your feet. Again, you might just press them down a little bit more. And the idea of that, you're just bringing in a connection to the ground, a little bit of stability, a little bit of steadiness. Just a couple more breaths here. Nice. And then we'll just bring the hands down. Again, it might be palms down. Nice, and again, just check that you're comfortable. You might be starting to sit a little taller if that's available. And again, you might come a little further forward on your chair to do that. You might push the feet down a little more. So you might even feel as you push the feet down into the blocks, you might even notice when you push down, you might feel a little bit of activation through your leg muscles. You might notice the bottom, the glute muscles. You might even feel the tummy muscles, the core. And then we're going to bring both thumbs up in front and give me a big thumbs up. So we've got double thumbs here. Now we're going to try and keep the eye gaze on the left thumb. So you're going to bring the left thumb very slowly down to the bottom left corner. So see if you can keep watching the thumb. And then you're going to very slowly bring the thumb all the way back up, meet its buddy thumb. both thumbs together. You might still be watching the thumb. And then take that right thumb down to the bottom right corner. Just have a bit of fun with this. The eyes might not stay on the thumb, that's okay. And we'll come all the way back up. Try and keep it slow. Notice if you want to speed up. Top left corner with the left thumb. So again, see if you can watch the thumb with the eye gaze. You might be able to go a little higher up, a little further. Or it might be a bit harder, this one. Again, we'll bring that thumb all the way back, meet the buddy thumb. And then we'll take that right thumb up to the top right corner. And it might be quite challenging. That's okay, that's why we're doing this work. We're going to bring that thumb all the way down, meet its buddy thumb. And then we're going to take a circle. So we're going to circle the left thumb up and out and all the way down. You can come as big as you like, as small as you like, and then we're going to bring the thumb all the way back up to its buddy and then try the right thumb. So we're going to go up, 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 up and around and out. See if you can keep your eyes on the thumb. Come all the way down, all the way back up, meet its buddy. Woo, see if you can look at both thumbs. You might be going a little bit cross-eyed by now. Woo, and just let that go. Have a bit of a shake through the hands. So you're just releasing. Again, you might have a bit of a shake through the arms, the elbows, maybe the wrists. It doesn't have to be a big shake. It might be bigger. You might think, oh, feeling lots of energy here. Notice the body starts to wriggle a little, wriggle through the hips, through the tummy, through the shoulders. Whew. Nice, and then see if you can pick up your right foot and see if you can give the foot a shake. And you might be shaking it on the block, it's okay. Pick it up as much as you can. You might bring the hands behind the leg. Give it a bigger shake. Whew. And we'll try the other side. So we're going to shake through the left foot. Again, it might be down low, you might bring it out to the side a bit more if the block's in the way or the book. Again, you might bring the leg up higher. Beautiful, we'll place the foot all the way back down. Again, just a little pause to notice, you might again notice that more energy in the fingers, maybe in the toes. Nice, and then again we're going to bring that right foot up and we're going to see if we can take some movement through the foot. So you might circle the foot one way and then the other. Just a bit of free movement here. So you might try with the foot down on the block. So you might be circling by lifting the heel up. You might try circling with the heel down. Again, no right or wrong, just find some movement in the right foot. It might be side to side. It might be up and down. Again, it might be circles, it might be bigger for some of you. You might even bring the hands in behind the leg. Beautiful, and again, we'll place that foot down. Just make sure it's centered if you're using a block or box, and we'll try that on the other side. So again, you might just be up on the toes, might be a little side to side with the heel. Movement through the toes, you might already have lifted the foot up. Again, it might be circles, might be forward and back, maybe some sideways movement. Might try to stretch your toes out. Beautiful, and then we'll just place that foot all the way back down. Again, just make sure that you feel balanced, you feel centered, and to do that you might push the feet down a little more. Now we're going to have a go taking some movement through the left hand. So let's take a circle. Let's circle one direction. And again, the arm might be down. It might be closer down to your leg. You're welcome to bring it up higher. That feels good. Now see if you can circle your foot, the right foot, so the opposite foot, in the same direction. So you might keep the foot down low. You might keep the heel down as well. If you want to have a go sitting a little taller, bringing the foot up, you can make it as big as you like. You might even bring the arm up higher or the hand up higher. Might make a big circle. Oh, they might be teeny tiny. That's okay. Now, can you switch direction? Really nice. And notice if the hand is moving faster than the foot or the foot is moving faster than the hand. Now, can we go opposite direction? And this one might be a little bit tricky. And again, remember if that leg's sort of a bit tired, you can always bring the foot down. You might just take the circles with the toes. You can always bring the arm down. So it's trying to circle in the opposite direction. Now, can you switch the direction? Go the opposite, the other opposite. Really nice. And then we're just going to relax. Take a little bit of a wriggle. If you had that leg up, it might have been a little bit of hard work there. And just take a pause. So you might have the palms down this time. Connect the feet. And I want you just to notice again, scan through your body. You might close your eyes here. And check one foot, the other foot. Do you feel any differences? You might notice tingling, you might notice warmth. One leg might feel different to the other. Maybe one hip feels different to the other. Maybe things like one side feels lighter, maybe shorter, longer, heavier, lighter. Just notice what there is. And then notice both hands. See if you can feel a difference with your hands. You might feel like one is bigger, smaller, lighter, heavier, longer, shorter, maybe the arm. Again, you might not notice anything, that's okay. Let's notice what there is to notice. I'm going to take that on the second side. So we'll get the hand going first. So we'll circle the right hand in one direction. And again, it can be big, little, anywhere in between. And then we're going to try and circle the left foot in the same direction. It's like they're connected. If they don't feel so connected, that's okay. That's why we're doing this work. And remember, it's a practice, not a perfect. And some days might feel really messy. And that's quite normal. We're very, very human. I like to call us very, very messy humans. All right, shall we change direction? Go the other way. And you might find this side is harder than the first side, or maybe it's easier. All right, we're going to go opposite directions. Again, you might support that leg if you're coming up a little higher. And again, you might have the foot down. Opposite. And it might be slower. You might want to bring the arm up higher. Really make this yours. We're just trying to find opposite circling movement. Now, can you switch directions? Almost feel the brain like changing gear there. And sometimes you need to sort of get the hand going, then the foot, and then maybe bring them together. That's okay. Maybe a couple more. Yeah, we'll just let that go. Again, come into your pause. And this time, can you sort of sway through your upper body? And I want you to think of this swaying almost like you're just giving yourself a little massage, a little softness. Even that idea of when a baby, a child is sad and needing comforting, we tend to rock them to soothe the little baby, soothe the little child. So you might even think of just soothing yourself, soothing your physical body, your emotional body. And for some of you, it might be a really tiny movement. It might be just a gentle rocking, gentle swaying. It might turn more into a circle one way and then the other. And again, you can always hold onto the chair here if you feel a little wobbly. It might be forward and back. It might be an interesting one to try, almost like we did at the beginning, but we're going to keep the feet connected this time. And if you are coming forward and back, you might might slide the hands forward on your legs. They might come to the knees. And then slide them back. You might notice how far can you slide forward and how far can you slide back. And if you are taking this forward and back, again, it might be teeny tiny, might be bigger. You might start just to feel a little bit of activation through the tummy muscles as you draw forward and as you draw back. You might feel this little crease here at the hip crease. You're tilting forward. Here's your forward bend. And you're extending back, and you might start to feel those tummy muscles starting to work a little harder. And then if you want to, again, layer on with your breath, it can be an inhale as you draw back and exhale as you rock forward. So we're trying to still sit tall. So you are long through the spine. Try to keep the shoulders soft. Doesn't have to be a big movement. And notice your feet here again. You might push the feet down a little more, especially if you feel a little wobbly. So that's your grounding, your foundation. And if you press down even more through the feet, you might even feel those leg muscles starting to wake up. You might feel the glutes, the bottom muscles, big muscle groups. Just a couple more like that. So again, it might be an exhale to draw forward. Inhale to come up. One more like that. Nice. And again, we're going to take that little pause. But before we do, a few little wriggles and jiggles. If you have got blocks, we're going to push them to the side, or books. And again, you might need to sit a little further forward on your chair so the feet can be really firmly grounded to the floor. So you might spread your toes out a little here. And again, pushing down through the toes. It's like you're giving your toes a bit of a massage. Push down through the balls of the feet. Maybe push down through the heels. Maybe one foot and then the other foot. Beautiful. And then see if you can squeeze your fists, make fists with your hands. Nice, and let it go. So we'll squeeze again and relax. Do it again. Squeeze and relax. Now, as you squeeze your hands this time, can you squeeze your bottom muscles? Can you squeeze your glutes? Ready? Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. As you do that, you might notice you lift up a little taller. Squeeze and release. One more like that. Squeeze and release. Okay, so we're going to add on now. We're going to have a go, squeezing the bottom, squeezing the fists, and we're going to see if we can stand up. So notice the feet. They're about hip distance apart. So they're not together. They're a little bit apart. You might even bring them a little further apart. Press down through the floor so you can feel a little bit of strength here. Get those hands ready. So we're going to squeeze the fists. We're going to squeeze the bottom, the glutes, and we're going to stand. So we're going to squeeze, come up, nice, and relax the hands, come all the way down. So you might sort of have to search for the chair. You ready? We'll try it again. Squeeze, coming up. Beautiful. And slowly down. See if you can come slowly down. Squeezing, come up. Relax, release, come down. Another one. Squeeze, come up. And coming down. So you might try a few more with me. If you're done, you can just stay seated. You might just stay seated and just make the fists. Maybe just squeeze the bottom muscles. Maybe one more. And release. Beautiful. So we're going to bring the hands down. Just take a little pause. Just let that settle. Again, just a moment to check in. Nice work. Now you're welcome to bring the blocks back under the feet, or you might choose just to keep the feet down on the ground now. Again, maybe pushing those feet down. You might feel a little stronger now. And then you might bring your arm by your side or just keep it on the leg. We're going to reach up through the right side. So it's like you're reaching up, 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 up. The arm might be bent. It might work towards straight. And then maybe you start to bring the eye gaze up. Reach a little taller. Beautiful. And then we'll float that arm all the way down. Again, it might stay by your side, or you might prefer it on your leg, and we'll try that on the other side. So we're reaching up, 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 up. You might look up, and then we'll bring it all the way down. And so we're just going to continue with this movement. If you want to add on the breath, see if you can lift up on your inhale, and see if you can lower down on your exhale. And just again, take it at your own speed. Again, you might be faster, you might be slower. The arm might not be going up that high. It might just come up a little bit. So it might just come about halfway. See if you can still follow that hand with your eye gaze. And there might be quite a stretch up through the rib cage, up through the side body. And think about lifting up through the rib cage and then softening to come down. Notice those feet keeping you supported. If you've lost connection with the breath, just see if you can bring it back in. If you can't, that's okay. So it might be breathing in to reach, and it might be exhaling to lower. So maybe one more like that. Really nice. And then once you bring both arms down, we're going to have a go bringing both arms up and overhead. So again, they might not come all the way up. It's okay. And we're going to exhale them all the way down. So again, see if you can bring them up on your inhale. And you might even take a little pause for 1 or 2 counts before you exhale and lower them down. Just notice how that feels. If it doesn't feel right, you don't have to pause. Breathing in, reach, reach, reach. Maybe that little pause, little hover, like you're just floating, and then exhaling all the way down. Maybe a couple more like that. If you want to, you can look up at the hands. You might see the hands just in your peripheral vision, sort of on the edges of your eyes. So you can just see them. All right, now we're going to make it a little bit trickier. We're going to bring the right arm all the way up and the left arm about halfway. And remember, it's your all the way up. Might not be all the way up, that's okay. And when you exhale, see if you can bring both hands down together. So it might come down by your side. And then we'll switch. Left arm up high, right arm about halfway. And again, exhale, bring them both down. Nice, and we'll just keep going with this pattern. Again, this can be a little tricky, so you might follow me and just copy me. It's okay. But you might start to find your own connection with your own breath, if that works. And again, with the eyes, see if you can have the hands slightly in front of your body, so you can just see the hands, you can just see the fingers with your eye gaze. And it might be a bit tricky to see both hands, but see if you can. You might see them out of the corners of your eyes. Try to watch them. And the idea with that, again, we're working with this neuroplasticity. We're firing up so many connections in the brain. And using the eyes, to add on the eyes is like just the magic touch. And maybe layering on that connection to your breath. But if it all becomes a little much, it's okay. Just let something go. We'll just take a few more rounds. If you've got a little muddled, that's okay. Come back in. And once you feel complete on both sides, you feel even, you feel balanced, and it might not be yet. You might be like wanting to continue a little longer, that's okay. But once you're ready, come back to symmetrical. And again, it's that idea we're sort of tying everything together in the brain, firing up all those connections. Brain loves symmetry, also loves to be challenged with different movements. So we're bringing that all into the practice today. Just noticing the breath, reaching up, exhale to lower. Beautiful day. One more, all the way up. You might come down or interlock your fingers above your head. Push the palms up towards the ceiling. Or take a big stretch. Push those palms. Again, maybe little movements. Reaching up. Reach, reach, reach. You might already be down, that's okay. You can always come back up. And then once you're ready, again, we'll float the hands all the way back down. Bring the hands onto your thighs. Slide the hands forward. See if you can just dome through the spine a little, like a cat. Draw the hands back. See if you can open up a little bit through your chest, through your heart space. Beautiful. Let's try a few more like that. Just our little seated cat-cow. You might feel a little curving in the spine. And again, your breath might be an inhale as the shoulders draw back. Eye gaze might lift. And then exhale. Curling through the spine, chin might come back towards the chest. Inhale to lift, feel that space through your chest. Exhale to curl. Again, maybe a couple more like that. Maybe just doing one more. And once you're finished, again, you're going to take any little wriggles and jiggles. You might bring the blocks back in, especially if you're quite far forward in your chair. And you're going to find a super comfy position in your chair. So if you've got a super comfy chair, you might put the feet right up. You could even come into a lying down position if that's available for you. Maybe a couch or something similar. And we're going to find a Shavasana shape. You're also welcome to take Shavasana lying down if that's working for you. Otherwise, you might just lean back in your chair. So you're supported with the chair. If the chair's hard, bring something soft in behind. Make sure you're warm enough. You might pop extra layers of clothing on. And again, maybe some just little movements through the head, the neck. Just notice if there's any tension. See if you can soften. And you're very welcome to close your eyes. Check your feet are warm. You might pop socks back on or slippers. And we're just going to stay here just for a moment. You might close your eyes. And I'm inviting you just to let go. See if you can soften a little bit more. Can you soften around the edges of your eyes, the corners of your eyes? And again, you might close your eyes here or just soften your gaze. Notice your eyebrows. Notice your forehead, smooth. Notice your cheeks, your cheekbones. Notice your jaw, your teeth, your tongue, your lips. Notice your neck, your chest. Notice your belly, soft. Fingers soft. Toes soft. Eyes might be a little heavy. Shoulders soft, drawing down and back. Notice your back, your hips, your legs, your feet. Notice your whole body. And we'll just sit for 1 minute. Shavasana. welcome to stay longer in your Shavasana. That's all good if you've got the time to do that. Otherwise, just blinking your eyes open. You might wriggle and jiggle, sit a little taller. And just bring your hands to your heart space. Just take a moment to give yourself thanks. Say, thank you, me. Thank you, me, for showing up for my chair yoga practice today with Jackie, with Yoga 77. Thank you for giving myself this time. And I invite you just to bring love, kindness, compassion into your heart space. Maybe some strength, yet softness. Just draw that in to your heart space. And then we'll close with a couple of shared breaths. So you're very welcome to stay as you are, or breathing in, bring the arms up and overhead. You might look up, feel that energy. Palms might meet, and we'll exhale all the way down through our heart center. And maybe one more like that. Big breath in. And letting it go. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Have a wonderful rest of your day, wonderful week. Go well. Namaste.